What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name's Nicole and I'm an addict, and my sobriety date is July 13th of 2015, and I do utilize medically assisted treatment. I am currently at 4 milligrams down from 12 milligrams, you guys, and I'm documenting my taper here on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in that journey, I have all those videos located in a Suboxone taper list here on my channel. So just check that playlist out. So I was thinking, what can I do today? I promised you guys I'd start trying to upload story times and pre-recorded videos. And while I'm learning the ropes of my new camera, I'll be doing it here on my phone like I have been. And so today what I was thinking of was the way I felt whenever I first found out that I was going to prison. And so what I thought we could sit here and talk about today was my feelings, the way I felt before I went in, the way I felt when I first got there, and with the way I look back at it now and realize, I realize a lot of things and I've changed so much since then. So before we get into this video, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really does help me out a lot. Share some of your feelings with me down in the comment section. Can you look back on times in your life where you're like, damn, I was stupid, or wow, I'm such a different person now? Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's free and you get to see me every day. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I hope it's good. And also, don't forget to click the notification bell and highlight all so that way you can be made aware when I go live. And I do live streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And tonight, you guys, we're doing a stream all about mental health and recovery. I had taken a kind of like a little poll over on the community tab and asked you guys what you guys wanted to talk about. Sorry, let me scoot this back a little bit. And a lot of you guys had said that you wanted to talk about mental health and recovery. So I can tell you that I have a lot of experience with struggling with mental health, and so we're going to talk about that tonight. So come hang out with us tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and join in on the conversation. Our live streams are usually about an hour long, and it's a really positive, supportive space. You guys have worked really hard to keep it like that. So, if you want to be included, come on over and hang out with us tonight, 7 p.m. So let's get into this story. Let me think. Okay, so I went to prison, you guys, back in 2009. Okay, it was the latter part of 2009. And it was in November, I'm pretty sure, because it was cold outside. And first of all, I knew I was going away about 30 days before I went to court. So I can remember it was October, going to see my probation officer and telling her without a shadow of a doubt that I was going to fail my random drug screen. That's what I was there for. She was testing me. I was never one of those people who would lie or try to cheat the system or cheat my drug screen. Like I always just pissed and would tell them I was going to fail, like, because I knew they were going to find out anyway, you guys. Like it was really no way for me to beat it, especially because of my behaviors. So, I was acting high, and a lot of the times I wasn't consistent and I didn't follow through, and I didn't make it. Like I would call into some appointments and reschedule some appointments. I can even remember one time where I got a doctor to prescribe me Klonopin just so I could fail my test for benzos. And I went in and she started calling me in to count my Klonopin. And you guys know that Klonopin was gone the first week I got it filled. So I didn't have none. I remember the first time she called me back to count them, I didn't have one pill in the bottle, y'all. I was calling friends trying to see if I could get Klonopin to stick in the bottle. Needless to say, that didn't work out very long. I wasn't able to keep that going. That was back when there were script doctors, and you could go to a doctor and say, hey, I want this, that, and the third, and they would write it to you. So it was really crazy because we had one in Hot Springs, and I could just go to him and tell him what I wanted, the exact drug, and then he would write a prescription for it as long as we paid him $200 cash. So, okay. So I went in and I'm going to fail. And she's, well, I still need to take your test. So I went ahead and gave her the urine, and of course I failed. They send it off, and they don't take it like they can do a dipstick, but most of the time they send it off to a lab. But she would do a dipstick and she would send it off. So basically she would know right then whether or not I had drugs in my system. And I did. I had opiates, methamphetamine, and benzodiazepine. I always failed for benzos. I'm one of those people who, when I take benzos, I take them in large quantities. I take them 5, 10, 15 bars at a time. And the last time I went to treatment, it took 45 days for my system to be cleared of benzodiazepines. 45 days. So benzos are kind of like THC, and they store in your fat cells. And well, your girl's not lacking in that department. So those benzos were sticking and staying in my little fat cells. So yeah, benzos are one of the hardest drugs I struggled with, you guys. And they're still to this day one of the drugs that I crave and sometimes think about the most on, thinking about relapsing and stuff, or having dreams. Benzos and IV opiates. I always dream about them. I don't know. Anyway, crazy times. So I failed my test, and that's when she told me she told me right there in the office that she was revocating me. She was revoking my probation, and that I would have a court date, and they would mail me my court date, and then I would go to the court date, and from there I would go to county. And so at that time, you guys, I wasn't talking to my mom and dad. I wasn't like keying them in on everything that was going on. I was really, I was real strung out. I was staying with my friend Misty on her couch. I was staying with my sister Michelle at her apartment on her couch. I was staying at Nate's house on his couch. I was staying all these different places. And the reason I was staying there was because I wanted to be able to use drugs. And I knew if I went to my parents' house that I was not going to be able to continue this destructive behavior. They were going to hold me accountable. So I was house hopping. At that time, I had lost all my jobs. I had gotten a little rinky-dink Sonic job. I was like car hopping a couple times a week to make money. But for the most part, I was jobless. I lost my job at the state revenue office because I used to work there. I lost my job at Shoe Carnival. I lost my job at JCPenney. I lost my job at Rolando's, the restaurant. I lost all my jobs, and all of them were because of addiction problems. All of them were because of, using and being high. So counting down the day till my court date, it was like a constant anxiety attack, a constant panic attack. You know how, like, when you have to take a drug screen and you're going to fail, and your heart and your stomach is just like, you can feel it down. You're just like so nervous. That's what it felt like the whole time waiting to go to my court date. Well, so of course what I did was self-medicate the whole time, stay high. And when it came time for me to go to my court date, of course I brought drugs with me so that way I could take them right before I went into jail. And basically, I didn't prepare for anything. The only thing I did was put the keys to my car in the gas tank part and call my mom from county and tell her to come get my car, that my keys were in the gas tank, and I loved her and I would see her in a year. I remember the first night sleeping in county jail. It was freezing cold. The racks are made out of cement. I was on the top bunk with a little mattress this big on it and a shitty, nasty pillow, okay? And these itchy wool gray blankets. Let me tell you about county jail food at Garland County. They serve you green bologna sandwiches. That's right, the bologna is green. They serve you slop in the mornings, and they call it sausage gravy. It's disgusting. And you're lucky in the afternoon if you can salvage something for dinner that's actually tastes good on the plate. They give you like some mixed vegetables, a piece of turkey with some slop gravy on top of it, in a roll. And it's awful. I was kicking. My first 2 weeks in jail were horrendous. I was sick as a dog. I was having diarrhea. I was having sweats, cold and hot. I was very uncomfortable. But most of all, I had to sit with myself. I had to sit with myself and look back on all the decisions I had made over the last 6 or 7 years. And that's when I was like, damn, everything I thought I never would become, I have become. Everything. I have failed. I failed at life. You know, being in county jail, I knew everybody there. You know, I was from that town. I grew up there, you know. I moved to Hot Springs when I was about 4 or 5. So I've known everybody since I was little. And of course, there was girls there that took me under their wing and showed me the way and, you know, taught me just different, you know, things that you needed to do to get by in county jail. But still, all I could think about was how I had failed. I had failed myself. I had failed my family. I was just nobody. I was a loser and I was worthless. And that's how I felt. I stayed in county for about 60 days, give or take a few days. And then I was transferred to RPF, Arkansas Department of Corrections in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. They gave me my ADC number and gave me clothes to dress out in. Deloused me with the lice powder stuff, and then made me get in the shower in between 2 big old giant girls that were triple the size of me, you guys. And that's when they basically they humiliate you, you know. Inmate, get in the shower. Inmate, spread your legs. Inmate, bend over, squat and cough. It's like they don't even say your name. They don't call you by your first name, absolutely. And you're lucky if they say DeMayo, because that was my last name back before I got married. You know, they don't want you to feel like a human. They want to dehumanize you because they want to break you down. You know, it's not supposed to be, it's not supposed to be a good experience, you know. And so that first night in prison, I was in Unit 2. I remember like it was yesterday. I was again on the top bunk, and I was brand new. We had to wake up so early in the morning. Everything was on a schedule. There was no sleeping in like there was in county jail. There was no eating whatever commissary I wanted to like there was in county jail. This was a boot camp style prison, straight up structure. And so, again, I laid in that top bunk, and it was like reality slapped me in the face. Like, this is what your life has come to. And I cannot stress you guys enough. That's all I could think about. This is what your life has come to. This is what you did. You got high on drugs. You chose this life, and this is the price that you pay, Nicole. Because I was raised up right, you guys. I had a good family, good values, good morals, taught right from wrong. I went off course, and you know, looking back on it now, I realized that I was a lost little girl looking for guidance in all the wrong places, looking for love and validation in all the wrong places. You know, instead of looking for people to validate me and looking for friendships when I was younger, I should have been spending time with my mom and dad and getting love and validation from them. But I wanted to be cool. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be a part of. And that is what happened. I got off course, and instead of getting back on course, I stayed, and then I became an addict. Now, I believe that I was an addict before I ever picked up, but when I picked up, I realized how great these drugs made me feel, and that's when addiction took over, and I didn't have a chance after that. So I just wanted to share with you guys what it was like, you know, what went through my head when I went to prison and how I felt about myself. And I'm going to tell you, it was awful, and I didn't feel good, and I was disappointed, and I couldn't believe that I'd let myself get to that point. But just like I tell you guys, when you're an addict, you lose the power of choice. So even if I didn't want to let myself get that way, I was already on that road because I was in my active addiction. Now that I'm sober and clear-minded, I can make good choices and I can do the right thing. But while you're intoxicated and under the influence of substances, it's almost near impossible to make any kind of good choices. So I hope that you all will listen to this video, not make the same choices I did, and if you're struggling, if you're in your active addiction right now, there is one thing you can do, and that is reach out for help. That'll be the best thing you ever did. So make that one choice and reach out for help. You guys know you can text me anytime or call me at 501-991-5149 on the Real Talk Recovery phone line. And I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all tonight for our mental health and recovery video.